Right now, the Bitcoin price is struggling hard to hold this key support. And yes, guys, I am still holding the multiple short setups that we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. But despite holding these short trades, I'm actually getting quite bullish on Bitcoin. I'm actually looking for a major bounce, a big reversal to come in to the upside very, very soon. So today, we're going to be diving into the charts. I'm going to be talking about my exact targets and my trading plan. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications because we are bringing you the juiciest and the most timely Bitcoin updates here on YouTube. So why am I feeling bullish here? Well, first of all, we have to understand that since November, when we came down to the $15,500 level, we have been in a very strong uptrend, making highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and higher highs. And the reason why we've been getting this pullback for the past few weeks, pretty much since the very beginning of April, is because we've come up to the mother of all resistances, which is this $30,000 level right here. It was our support all the way back in January 2021, our support all through the summer of 2021, and then it was a support resistance flip back in May and June of 2022. And as we came up to this key resistance, we were seeing on Market Cypher B the dreaded bald-headed Gary Gensler Market Cypher B pattern, where as Gary's head was getting lower, he didn't know, is it a security, not a security? He has no idea what he's talking about, but that's a very bearish pattern, as we see right here on Market Cypher B, which has caused a slight pullback. Now, notice something about all the pullbacks that we've had during this uptrend. The pumps to the upside have been very powerful, right? Very intense, very strong. But the pullbacks have been very, very weak, very slow, very grindy, and people are always expecting lower, 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 lower prices. But all of a sudden, we bottom out and get a big move to the upside. Well, I'm starting to feel in my bones something very similar is about to happen very soon. And what we need to do now is we need to look at the context and see if we are going to continue lower, if this is going to result in another big drop to the downside, where can we be looking for key support to either buy on spot or enter into a very juicy long position. By the way, guys, speaking of juicy trading, I'm currently trading on MEXC, the best deal on fees you will possibly find. 0% limit order fees, 0.01% market order fees if you use my link, guys. This is absolutely a great deal. I love scalping on this exchange because you can take advantage of those small moves with very low fees. Also, I'm currently trading on BitGet, my favorite exchange, my go-to place for swing trading. Links in the description and pinned comment, guys, if you know how to trade. These are my two go-to exchanges right now. So here's a very bullish scenario that I am currently looking at. Now, we've been watching this very key level for the past few weeks here at 26,477 because we were saying if we close a daily candle below this green line at 26,477, well, then that opens up the door to much more downside because this is now officially giving us a bearish market structured trend where we put in our high, our low, our lower high, and now officially closing a daily candle at a lower low. So now that we know the probabilities are higher to the downside, what we need to do is look at the overall context and ask ourselves, where are we likely to find major support if we get something like what we saw back here in March, where we have this somewhat of a little bit of a cascade of stop losses, somewhat of a long squeeze down to a key zone of support. Well, notice this. Notice this. We have this range that we've basically been trading here throughout the entire year. If we take a fixed range volume profile, and we can see that the value area high of this range is coming in right around $24,900. This is very important. Why? Because not only is this a value area high, which basically means that for the past year, the market had priced the fair value of Bitcoin at this level. Now that we've broken out, the market is establishing a new fair value. And if we come back down here for a retest, this will show that the market indeed does want to trade Bitcoin at higher prices. But if we also take a look at the pattern that we have here, which is an inverted head and shoulders pattern, basically going all the way back to May 2022, we can see that this is also going to retest the neckline of the head and shoulders pattern, which is a very, very juicy confluence. This, if we get a bounce, will be a proper breakout because a lot of us who trade breakouts are very patient. We don't enter the trade just when we start to break resistance, but we enter the trade when we come back down to test, make sure that what used to be resistance is now acting as support, because support and resistance are like floors of a house, right? We can think of it as floors of a house. We've got ourselves right here, a house. This right down here is our basement. This right up here is our middle floor, right? And then this up here is the second floor, right? And you can see very clearly that right here, what used to be the floor back in May 2022, then acted as the ceiling in August 2022, acted as the ceiling again in February 2023. And so if we come back down to that level and it acts as the floor, that's going to give us good confirmation that this is a proper breakout and a retest, and we can actually look for higher Bitcoin prices. In addition to that, if we take our Fibonacci from the low to the high, and we go ahead and we turn on our 382 Fibonacci level, we can see that it's also coming in right at the same exact place. Why is this so significant? If we're in a very strong trend, the 382 Fibonacci is the place where we are most likely to get the bounce, right? It's the place we are most likely to get the bounce. Let's see, did we bounce from the 382 right around this zone? Let's take a look here. Yeah, we did come down to the 382. We dipped down below it a little bit, but right around that area, front running the golden pocket, that's basically kind of where we're looking for our bounce to come in if we are getting very, very bullish. Now, something else we need to be aware of if we look at the daily time frame is the fact that we have a very, very juicy daily order block coming in right here. What is an order block? It's a zone of liquidity, and the way we can identify it is by looking for anomalies in the candles. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 blue candles in a row. Then we have this little purple candle. Then we have 2 more blue candles. This purple candle is an anomaly. It's showing us there's liquidity here, an order block, and if the price dips down, it's likely to get a reaction from this level. And everybody's looking at the $25,000 level, and this daily order block actually dips down technically all the way to the $23.9 thousand level, which means we could come down for our retest. A lot of people might try and long a little bit early, then we come down to the order block and get our real bounce from this area. And I do believe that we are going to see a bounce if we come down to this area, potentially even putting in a new higher high on the higher term time frame. So what are we going to be looking for as we come down to that area? Well, we're going to be looking at our oscillator to determine, is this a real bounce or are we going to continue lower? In a perfect world, what I would want to see as we come down to this major zone of support right here is a hidden bullish divergence on the daily time frame where we actually come in and make a lower momentum wave than the one that we made previously at the last higher low in this uptrend. This is actually showing us a continuation pattern. And if we come down to this area and then on the 4-hour time frame, we are seeing bullish divergences. What is a bullish divergence? A bullish divergence is where the momentum waves are getting higher as the price is getting lower. So if we come down to our big zone of support way down here around 23.9, and we're seeing the 4-hour time frame do something like this where the momentum waves are getting higher as the price is getting lower to key support in conjunction with a hidden bullish divergence on the daily. This would be giving us a regular bullish divergence on the 4-hour, which is very, very strong confirmation for basically a continuation in a higher term time frame uptrend. So that is exactly what I'm going to be looking for at these levels. And just based on the historical price action, we have seen that when we have these slow, grindy pullbacks and everybody's constantly expecting lower and it never really comes, that is when we typically get the unexpected bounce. Guys, I'm a huge proponent of being as self-sufficient as possible. And I believe that as times get crazier, we need to step up and become more and more self-sufficient. We need to be less reliant on the systems that enslave so many people in our Western society, start taking responsibility for our own supplies, our own health, and things like that. So here's something I do every single day to become more and more self-sufficient. All right, y'all, I am down here in the gym, and one of the best things you can do to stay as self-sufficient as possible is to stay in good physical shape and conditioning. Now, obviously, this includes some exercise, but more importantly, it actually includes what you put into your body, your diet. And right now, my diet is my secret weapon to be as efficient as possible, keep away from being a slave to the pharmaceutical industrial complex, and also it helps my mind stay fresh so I can focus on multiple things like trading, running a business, being a homesteader, being a father and a husband. So this is what I eat on a day-to-day basis and remain as self-sufficient as possible. Now, I understand, diet is one of those things that a lot of people get very passionate about, but let me just say this, right? If we want to be healthy and if we want to be more self-sufficient, if we don't want to be a slave to the pharmaceutical industrial complex, look around at everybody you know. They're fat, they're sick, they're unhealthy, they're depressed. Why? It's because of their diet. Now, there's one thing I know for sure. I don't know what the best way to eat is, but if it's a whole food that doesn't come in a package, that's healthy for you. Okay, I don't eat anything that comes in a package, nothing. I only eat whole foods, and I think that's so important for people to do. Eating actual real food that God created. If you're eating stuff that comes in a package, you are making yourself sick. You're not going to be performing at your best. Your mind is not going to be sharp. Your body is not going to be strong. And you're slowly killing yourself. And worst of all, you're making yourself a slave to your poor health. And this is not going to allow you to be self-sufficient in the future when potentially things are going to get a little bit worse. So I know this is kind of a crazy video, not necessarily much about homesteading, but for me this is very important because I'm passionate about being at the top of my game so I can provide for my family, so that I can do the things I need to do in order to be more self-sufficient. I eat a lot of chicken, guys. This is a chicken that we actually raised and processed ourselves. We have a whole bunch of chickens here that we raised and processed ourselves. We eat a lot of chicken. We also eat a lot of whole eggs. Something else, secret weapon, raw goat milk that we get locally from a farm here. Guys, this stuff is absolutely amazing. It will make you feel amazing. It gives you so much energy. I cannot even describe. Raw goat milk is so dang good. Lots of ground beef, grass-fed, guys, that we get from a local farm in the area along with the milk. This stuff, guys, so dang good, so dang nutritious. Lots of greens, guys. I ate a lot of greens. Spinach, chard, kale. This is fresh growing right now, but we still have frozen stuff that we grew last year on the homestead. And we still have plenty of chard. Now it's not coming up yet, but lots of beans, lots of squash, and lots of potatoes that we have grown in these gardens here. We still have plenty of squash from last year as well. Pretty much the majority of what I eat. And of course, guys, you know, the chickens are super stoked to see me right now because they think I've got some kind of treat for them. But whole eggs makes up a majority of the protein that I get on a day-to-day basis. All right, y'all, that is it for today's video. May you all be very blessed in the name of Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are very, very blessed. I hope you all have a great day of trading, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.